Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Gamut Network. I love so much that many times I get to say the guests that are on the show have become friends and that I'm honored to know. And this is certainly one of those cases. Keah and I met a couple of years ago, I believe when she moderated a panel that I was on. And as you all will be, I was completely captured by her from the get-go, and I'm incredibly honored to have her on the show. So welcome, Keah.
Thank you for having me, Mindy. I'm
So
really excited to talk to you today.
equally as excited, and I always love talking to you. It's just talking to a friend. So Keah, I would always like to start with you sharing a bit about your personal story, your disability, and we'll kind of talk through that.
Okay, yeah. So I'm Keah, as Mindy mentioned, and I have cerebral palsy. My case is cerebral palsy hemiplegia of the right side, which means that I have like delayed motor skills. I limp when I walk. Everything on the right side is slower than my left. So it just means like having to adjust, learning how to do things, mostly with the use of my left hand, with some assistant from the right. So it's really just been since 1991. Shout out to Virgos. I I've been disabled my whole life, but specifically on the right side of my body.
And so tell us a little bit about what happened in 1991.
Okay, so in 1991, I was born. I'm a twin, so me and my sister were born 5 months premature. And I was born
Wait,
in
I'm
September.
sorry, 5 months premature?
Yes. So
wow.
we were born in September. We were supposed to be born in January.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's a miracle in and of itself.
Right. And so when my mom had an emergency C-section and when I came out of her, I think like my oxygen was cut off for a little bit or something. Something happened and CP became a part of my life immediately. And I think it's so interesting to tell my story in terms of talking about how I had it since birth, because a lot of times we hear stories where people acquire disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked me on the internet the other day, they thought that I had like acquired my disability. And I was like, oh no, this is like well-honed, well-seasoned, always and forever have had it. And I think that sometimes people get caught up on this idea of something that a disabled person has missed out on due to their disability. But what I hope to do in telling people about, my lived experiences as a person with CP is show people that I'm not missing out on anything, really. Like, this is just the way life is, and there's nothing, extraordinary or terrible about it. I'm somewhere in the middle of like doing great things and adjusting to the world at large, but also I don't need to be, pitied or, I don't need people to feel like they feel sorry for me in any way. I'm just living my life.
I love that. And that's really one of the key reasons why I wanted to start this show, is to really underscore just that. In terms of people with disabilities certainly don't need to be pitied, as there are so many gifts that come along, both with those that are born with their disabilities and those that have acquired it.
Mm-hmm.
And I often kind of talk about this with my guests in terms of, having a moment, whether it has happened during your life, and or if you were born with it. Did you have a moment that was one of my other guests called it a rebirth, where they said they accepted who they were, and it was the first time that they felt completely whole, that they understood that this is this is who they are. And I think some people have felt that, and maybe some people haven't. Did you have any moments like that where maybe there wasn't like there was like this epiphany that, okay, I got it. I have CP. My life is going to be a little different than my sisters or, people that are in my life. Did you
Hmm.
ever have a moment like that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. My moment came in the year 2016.
Oh.
I started writing in bigger publications and everything was going so well for me professionally. And I started to finally feel um, not only good about myself and my body, but like safe in my body.
Mm-hmm.
So the year 2016 was a major year for me, both professionally and personally, because I really realized that I was spending too much time dwelling on something that I couldn't change and also trying to convince the world that I was okay despite disability. And 2016 was the year that I was like, I'm tired of doing that. And I just want to um, really learn to love myself as I am and just accept my body for what it's doing. Because a lot of times I was like very ashamed of it and very just like upset at it when it's really just been doing the best it can to keep me alive. And 2016 was the year of my epiphany. I started to say 4 things in the mirror that I liked about myself every single day.
Oh, go,
Um,
go. How exciting.
Yeah, and so I just really every single day I did that work of, saying 3 physical things that I like about myself. Like today I like my ears and nose and shoulders. And then I would say like, and I'm also a loyal friend, or, something that was non-physical as well. And so in 2016 I started that journey, and then the year 2017 in February I created hashtag disabled and cute. And that was really because of a culmination of every single day putting in the effort to stop the negative self-talk and bring in, positive things about myself that I thought were worthy of that, and sort of trying to train my brain to replace that inherent feeling of insecurity and sort of imposter syndrome in my body, and really welcoming in the new phase of celebrating my body for what it is and also what it can be.
That is it's so beautiful on many levels, Keah, but the fact that that translates to anybody, right? With a
Right.
disability, without a disability, it's irrelevant that we all had to be comfortable in our own skin and accept, I'm at best 5 feet tall. I'm never going to be anything more than that. And, that's who I am. And
Mm-hmm.
that is something that it needed to accept. But I also I love the positive message that it's just between you and yourself. And that is the most
Yeah.
important piece of the whole thing, is that you do it to yourself in the mirror. And nobody,
Yes.
that has to be the relationship that you build upon each and every day. It is the most important relationship you will ever have. So did you already do your 4 things in the mirror today?
Yes.
And what
This
were they?
morning.
Can we ask what they were?
Yes. So this morning I really like my eyebrows.
I do too. And let me
Those
just give you a
guys
little note
really
about that.
feeling that you
Don't
can't really
ever
see in the
overpluck
glasses,
them.
but they're cute.
Don't ever overpluck them, because then they wind up like this and they don't grow.
Okay.
So love those eyebrows. Don't touch them. Anyhow, go ahead.
Don't touch them. Got it. So my eyebrows, I like my nose today and my ears, and I like my shoulders. I always tend to like my shoulders. I don't know what it is. It's not like they're, magnificent in any way, but I love my shoulders. And so those are the 3 physical things. And then the fourth non-physical thing is that I appreciate that I am able to, dust myself off and always get back up and keep moving forward when
Ah,
like things are not, because this week has not been going the best. It's Friday, thank goodness. So we're at
yeah.
the end of it. But I like that I'm able to um, really feel what I need to feel and then get back up and keep going, which took me a while to like learn how to actually do that and not dwell in, that things are bad. Just try to find another reason to keep going every day is sort of the advice I've been giving myself. And it's working out, so I'll take it.
I am absolutely going to, if it's okay, adopt this because I think
Yes.
it's so beautiful. I will asterisk you every morning when I do it to channel you and thank you for passing this on because again, it's so critically important that you to start your day with gratitude about yourself, yourself and asking permission of nobody is amazing. So I love that and thank you so much for sharing that. I would like to add one to your physical, if that's okay.
Okay,
I love the
please.
space between your teeth. I love it.
Thank
I love
you.
it so much. Fabulous. Anyway,
Thank you.
I do want to spend time on all of your successes. You're an incredibly accomplished writer, amongst other things. But can you tell us a little bit about your success as a professional woman?
Yeah, so I am a writer, yes, and I've written for places like Netflix, um, the New York Times, Marie Claire UK, Harper's Bazaar, Allure magazine, sort of like everywhere on the internet, really. I write a lot about identity and what it means to be a Black disabled woman, what it means to be a Black disabled queer woman. I talk a lot about how even the mundane things that people don't think about can be empowering for either disabled people or just, every person really. Like I'm writing a piece now for a magazine where I'm talking about how learning to do my own makeup, like more than just a lipstick, I could always do a lipstick, but more than just a lipstick and like trying to learn how to do foundation and blush and, mascara and all that, how that's been so empowering for me. Just in terms of like that feeling of independence and freedom that comes with one expressing yourself through makeup or even fashion. I'm a huge fashion person, and so I think those forms of expression are so important because they're an extension of who we are. And oftentimes what I'm trying to do in my work as a journalist, even when I'm talking to other people, is trying to figure out what makes someone who they are and why. And a lot of the work that I do for myself personally is talking about who I am, but also how that impacts the world at large. And so I try really hard to just only talk about the things that I care about and that matter to me. And I've been so, lucky and grateful that I've been able to publish in these places that I would have never thought growing up would have space for me. And I just sort of carved it out on my own and was like, here I am, take it or leave it. I hope you take it. And, some people have. And I think that often what I get asked by, up and coming writers is like, well, I'm sure you don't deal with rejection or with anyone saying no to you now. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I get rejections all the time. Trust me, like it's part of the process. I feel like sometimes people want this like easy answer and they want like, they're like, oh, how did you start writing? And I'm like, I literally just put pen to paper or, keys, my fingers to the keys on the computer. Like there's no easy answer, but I find that in telling these stories of other people, but also in telling stories of myself, I feel like I'm the best version of myself that I can be. And I just want to make sure that the world is seeing people they don't normally see. And as a person of who loves pop culture and like loves pop culture. Even if I'm talking to someone like Brie Larson, I did the cover story during her Captain Marvel press run for Marie Claire UK. Even if I'm talking to somebody that like the world already knows, I want to dig deeper and find these things that they may not know and talk about things that go deeper than like, who they're dating or like who, because those things matter, sure, I guess. But like, I like the idea of being like, who is this person behind the sort of celebrity wall that they have up. So like I really feel like the work that I do thrives in identity, and I have this sort of like unbridled excitement that I think also often shows in my pieces, and just me being excited at the opportunity to write these things and tell these stories.
And I think that absolutely comes through, not only in your writing, but it comes through with you as a human. You even in the time I've gotten to know you, you are so full of light and joy and realism. I mean, as you said, you experience things just like everybody else does. Success,
Mhm.
rejection, you know, good weeks, bad weeks, all of the above. I do want to go back to something that you just talked about because I think it's really important. First of all, a footnote to everybody that Keah was just in a New York Fashion Week fashion show. If you want to check her out, you can go to the Runway of Dreams YouTube page and look for the 2020 Fashion Revolution, and you will see my girl right there, front and center, doing her thing for New York Fashion Week, and really showing that how important fashion is and clothing is to who you are as a person, and you do such a beautiful job with that. But also, I love what you said about makeup, and that's something that I'm right now very personally interested in as it relates to people with disabilities, because
Mhm.
unlike clothing, accessories, footwear, makeup doesn't need to be adapted. Makeup is for any face, no matter what. It's almost like a universal way to for women and men, should they choose to, express themselves. And
Yeah,
I think that that is such an important part of conversation as it relates to beauty, that needs to be a focus, that it is one
absolutely.
of the few, not few, but certainly an area that doesn't need to be adjusted for people with disabilities. It is so critically, is as important to somebody with a disability as it is to an able-bodied person, and how you choose to present your face to the world. And
Right.
I love that, how you spoke about that, because I think it's super important for the beauty industry to embrace that and understand that specifically. Um,
Right, because we buy their products too. So like
exactly.
you're just if you tap into it, you're just tapping into another customer base.
Yes.
And for me, it's like the hardest thing about makeup is trying to find ways that I can put it on as effectively as possible. So I bought this like 16-piece brush set
Oh,
off of Amazon. It was so cute. But I find that it's often easier for me to put the makeup on like by hand. I feel like I have more control. So it's like interesting trying to find that ways to put it on, because it's not that the makeup itself needs to be adjusted. It's just finding out ways to put that makeup on my face.
love it.
And
Love that so much. So here's a good challenge to the beauty industry. Let's find other ways to apply, to color, other than the original ways. Let's think bigger. Let's think of
yeah,
ways that it can be applied. I love that.
because it's so like, and I just feel like in the process of learning how to do it on my own and like trial and error and everything, I'm having so much fun.
Mm,
And I think that when you think about makeup, people often think of it as like this frivolous thing that like doesn't really matter, but it really does
there he
when
does.
you're looking for ways to express yourself outside of this standard, and when you're looking for ways to just feel good in your body. Like makeup helps. People can look good with or without makeup, but it's just the idea that like it's an enhancement of who you are. And so I'm having so much fun trying to figure out, what works for me, and like what colors, experimenting with like eyeshadows and stuff. It is so much fun. And I feel like I really do hope that the beauty industry gets to a point where they understand the importance of sharing that love of makeup with everyone.
Love it. It's so true. I mean, I actually don't do an interview without having this lipstick on, because
Mhm.
I love it so much. And if I had to look at my face multiple times a day, I want to look at it with this lipstick on, because I absolutely love it. I think it's the absolute perfect color, and it makes me feel good. So I think that's exactly what you focused on. Another point that I want to make sure that we get in is that the book that you wrote, and one that is coming up. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so the book that I wrote that is already out and available for purchase is The Pretty One. It's The Pretty One on Life, Pop Culture, Disability, and Other Reasons to Fall in Love with Me. It came out it came out last year in August 6th with Adria Books. And it is an essay collection where I talk about pop culture, loss, grief, disability, joy, what it's like to be on the other side of my own sort of self-hatred and just misunderstanding my body to getting to this place where I'm really comfortable and I'm disabled and cute, really.
Mm.
So
Wait,
that's out right now. Thank you. And then in fall of 2022, I have a children's book coming out talking about, the importance of comfort and rest. And it is about a little girl named Sam, and she is going back to school shopping with her best friends and her mother. And it's called Sam Superseats. That's out again, fall of 2022 via Cochlear Books. And I'm so excited for that to reach the world and to reach children who are both disabled and not, to talk about the joys and the importance of taking rest and giving your body the break it deserves, even when you're out having fun, getting excited for, back to school.
Important. It's so important. And Keah, if people want to get in touch with you to learn more about anything that we just spoke about, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
So the best way to connect with me is either one on Instagram and Twitter at Keah, Keah _ Maria, Maria, or just go straight to my website, keahbrown.com. I have a contact page, all the information about the books coming up and like work that I'm doing is there. I think there is a mention of me being a model in Runway of Dreams in my little press section, which was a dream come true, by the way. Like, models were the people that I envied growing up because I never thought that I could be one or that I was going to be worthy enough. And so I was so grateful that both Mindy and Runway of Dreams saw me fit to model. And it was really such a wonderful time. So I wanted to make sure I said thank you for that,
Oh my
because
God, the honor was ours. I couldn't have been happier. You commanded it. You were magnificent. And I encourage everybody to go watch her. Again, it's on our YouTube channel, Runway of Dreams, and you can see how she shines. Keah, before we go, I'd like to ask all of my guests one final question.
Okay.
And that's about the power of a vision board and manifesting what you want to happen during your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I am a very, very big believer in that. But if we got to look onto your vision board, what would we see?
Ooh, so I am a huge believer in manifesting the things that I want to happen and like dreams that I want to come true. So if you look on my vision board, you'll see I'm currently taking acting classes. So you're going to see acting, more writing of books. I want to be in like a custom Christian Siriano gown on a red carpet somewhere, posing in front of the cameras.
Me too.
Yes, right, a dream. So
Yeah.
I want to, make a move to California. I want to fall in love and be happy and continue to find new ways to tell stories. I want to wear cute clothes while I'm doing it. I want to feel good in makeup. I just want to do the things that make me happy, and that's really just writing and writing in as many genres as possible and acting and really just pushing myself forward. So a lot of my vision board is just me dreaming of a future where I can do anything, where anything feels possible and I make it happen.
Amen. I mean, couldn't have said it better. I want to be a part of your vision board. It's so fun and amazing. And I cannot wait to watch you do all of the above. It was such a joy to have you on the show. Thank you as always for joining us and just being the powerhouse that you are.
Thank you. No, this was so great. I'm so glad we got to do this.
Me too. Me too. If you would like to be on the Gamut Network, please email us at talent@gamutmanagement.com to tell us why you'd be a great guest. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Gamut Network, as well as follow us on social media at Gamut Management. Thank you again. Bye.
Bye.